So here is the second practice for Module 4, Topic 1. All right, this is trying to get you guys ready for the summative, which is going to be on Tuesday next week. All right, so the first thing, this is the same setup as the last time, the questions have changed. All right, so first thing we're going to do is look at the transformations for each of these four equations. All right, kind of like last time, I'm going to label these. So this is the first 2 and 3 different transformations. So the first one, we have a vertical stretch of 5. Number 2, that's a horizontal shift. It's going to go to the left by 30. All right, and number 3 is a vertical shift, and it's going to go up by 7. And that is it. Number 2, there are 2 different transformations. Here's the first one, and here's the second one. So the first one, we have a reflection. This one is going to be over the y-axis because it is inside the parentheses. And then number 2 is a vertical shift. You're going to go up by 1. Number 3. There are 4 different things going on here. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, number 1 is a reflection over, over the x-axis. All right. Unlike the last one in number 2, where we were going over the y-axis. Notice that in number 2, the negative sign is inside the parentheses, and number 3, the negative sign is on the outside. Number 2 is a 2, and that is a vertical stretch. All right, of 2. All right. Number 3 there is a horizontal stretch of 4. And then the last one, number 4, is a vertical shift. You're going to go down 1. All right. And then lastly, number 4. We have 2 things going on. This is 1 and then 2. So we have a vertical stretch of 4. And then we have a horizontal, if I could spell that right, horizontal compression by 3. And that is it for those 4 transformations. All right, next let's look at the graph of the periodic function. All right, so we're looking for the period first. So let's start on the y-axis. We're going to go up and down and start the graph again right there. And the period of that function is going to be 2 pi. Okay, let's make the pi actually look like a pi. There we go. All right, determine the maximum values of the function. So the maximum, the peak of the function is right there at 0. The minimum is the valley right there at -4. The amplitude. So the amplitude, again, there's 2 ways to do it. You can find the midline. The midline is right. Let's make it a different color. The midline is right here. So from the midline to the top or midline to the bottom is 2. If you want to do a different way, the total distance between the valley and the peak is 4, and divide that by 2, and you still get 2. So the amplitude of that graph is 2. Let's make it blue. All right. And in terms of the equation of the midline, we just drew the midline in that red dotted dashed line, and it's going to be y equals 2. Or, sorry, -2. Okay. All right. Next, solving the rational equation. So again, we have a situation where we're going to write down our denominators in a little chart. So we have r squared, we have 2r, and we have r squared. Okay. So what is r squared missing that the other 2's have, well, the last one's r squared, just like it, but the middle one has got a 2 in it. Okay, and that r squared does not. The next part, we got 2r. It has a 2 that nobody else has, but it only has 1r, so it needs another one. And lastly, the last r squared also needs a 2. We're going to multiply the numerators that we have by what was missing. So the first one is going to be by, let's make this bigger, by 2. We have r, and we have 2. So we can get rid of the denominators altogether. So we have 2 minus r, equals r minus 10. Next, we're going to add 10 to both sides, and r will equal 12. Now we've got to make sure that this works. 2r, and r squared, we're going to set them both equal to 0 to make sure that we have nothing that can be an undefined fraction in our problem here. So we divide both sides by 2 for the first one, which gives us r equals 0. And we square root both sides to give you r equals 0. So 12 will work because it's not a denominator that will cause it to become 0. And we're good to go. Number 7. All right, in this case, we've got to square both sides to get rid of the square root sign. So we have n squared equals 24 plus 5n. All right, now you might think, well, I'm going to subtract the n squared, but I'm not going to do that. I want to bring the other parts to the other side, to the left, because I want to keep n squared as a positive number. So I'm going to have n squared minus 5n minus 24, and then set that equal to 0. Now I can factor. Excuse me. So what two numbers multiply to give you negative 24 and add up to give you negative 5? And the answer is negative 8 and positive 3. So if we solve both of these for n, we're going to get positive 8 and negative 3. But we do have to check these to make sure that they work. So you put them both back in. So 24 plus 5 times 8 is going to be 24 plus 40, which gives you 64. The square root of 64 is 8, and that is what the other side equals, so that's good. All right, now the other one. So 24 plus 5 times negative 3, which gives you 24 minus 15, is 9. The square root of 9 is 3, but the other side is going to give you negative 3, and negative 3 does not equal 3, so this one does not work. Only the 8 does. So you got to check your answers. All right, last one. So we have Kendall can wash 24 golf carts in a 4-hour shift. Benny helps Kendall. They can wash 30 golf carts in 2 hours. How long will it take Benny to wash 8 golf carts working alone? Okay, so we have Kendall, Benny, and together we have washing, let's do golf carts, and then hours. So Kendall can wash 24 golf carts in 4 hours. All right, if Benny helps Kendall, they can wash 30 golf carts in 2 hours. How long will it take Benny to wash 8 golf carts by himself? Okay, so as we did in question number 6, we're going to set up our denominators. We have 4, we have x, and we have 2. So we've got to figure out what is missing. So 2 and 4 are multiples of each other. So 4 is missing an x, but we don't need to worry about the 2. The x is missing 4, and the 2 is missing a 2 and an x to make it 4x. And now they'll all be 4x when you're done. Okay, so we're going to multiply the numerators by what was missing in its denominator. So the first one is x, the second one is 4, and the last one is 2x. So now we can cross off these parts. All right, and then we have 24x plus 32 equals 60x. Okay, So I'm going to subtract 24x from the other side. So I have 32 equal to 60 minus 24, which gives you 36x. And then divide both sides by 36. And 32 divided by 36, that's going to be 0.8. We'll do 0.88. All right. And there we go. And that is it. And we will see you tomorrow.